Hey y'all, and welcome back to RJ's Talk Show. My name is Roberto Jaimes, and today we have a special guest here today, all the way from Dallas, Texas. And who am I here with?
Thank you for introducing me, Roberto. So right now you're here with Jose Hernandez. I'm currently go to Texas Wesleyan. I do track and field and cross country here. I'm an exercise science major, and yeah, like he said, I'm born and raised in Dallas, Texas.
So, what do you like the most about Dallas, Texas?
Oh, that's a very good question. So I would say the most of what I like about Dallas is the environment. I don't know. I just like how it's a pretty like everybody knows each other. Like you go to the store and it's a pretty like close environment. I feel like everybody just knows each other, and there's just so much to do in Dallas, so much people to meet. And I feel like just everybody knows each other wherever like let's say if you live in a certain part of Dallas, I feel like everybody knows each other within that certain area, and yeah.
So, what made you want to come to school all the way in Fort Worth since you are from Dallas?
So I was looking into different schools, a bunch of different schools. I had a specific list of criteria that I wanted to fit in with my school. One of those criteria being doing track and cross country, and so I had a couple offers from different schools, but Texas Wesleyan was the one that appealed to me most, just because I could commute there, and I could do track and cross country. And on top of that, they also had my major. That was also like one of the major criteria that I needed to be filled out. And so checked all the boxes, and yeah.
So, what made you want to continue running after high school?
So I started running actually sophomore year. I didn't do any sports on before then. And when I first started it sophomore year, I was really slow. I ran like a 27 to 30 minute 5K. That was like my first 5K. Like official 5K, and it was hard. I could not do it without stopping. Like I had to stop to walk multiple times. But as the season progressed, I kept dropping my time, And I was like, wow, I can actually do something. And then I went to track, and I dropped my time even more. And then the next cross country season, it was like a huge change. Like in 1 year, I had jumped from being one of the slowest runners to being on varsity as the top runner. And just seeing how much I could do with sports, and how much it motivated me to do well throughout life and whatnot. Just seeing that, and the impact I could have through running with the people around me, with my family, with my close friends, my teammates. Being able to motivate people through the motivation that I received through it is what led me to want to run past high school and want to reach that goal of making it to collegiate running.
So, what advice do you give to people that want to continue running after high school or don't want to?
So most of the time, I tell them go with because again, it's not easy to make it past high school. But if there's a possibility for them to continue running past high school, I would say, go with it, because it's so good for you. I mean, it's really important. Like once you get to college, you get to that age where like, you're gonna start adding a lot of responsibilities to your life. Like a bunch of responsibilities are gonna be added to your life. You're gonna have a lot to do. You're gonna have all that mental strain. In college, college is hard. Regardless of what major you do, I feel like it's always gonna be pretty hard. Some majors are easier than others, but I feel like the mental strain is the same for everyone. Everybody has some level of mental strain, and I feel like doing sports in college, especially running, I feel like it's a good mental outlet for us as college students, and I think it's just good overall. I feel like it helps motivate yourself and stay disciplined. When it comes to school, I feel like it goes par and par, and there's just so much lessons that you can learn from running, and apply it anywhere in your life. I feel like there's different things that you do in running, and you can just apply it to your life. Like in a race, you're always gonna finish. Well, unless something happens and you get injured, but the next time you race, you're gonna finish. Or but let's just say like you always fight to the finish. You always finish the race. Like for me, I always finish my races. There's never haven't been a time when I haven't finished, and the way I can apply that to my life, like it's gonna get hard. It's gonna get hard at times, but I'll always make it to the finish line, if that makes sense. And that's one of the things I would just tell like some of the advice I'd give. I mean, it's what I said is a lot, but I feel like it all goes together. I feel like you can just running is just great overall. Like you can just do so much with it, and that's just something I'd recommend as someone continue.
Yeah, but what motivates you to get up every day to go run? Like whether it's like you have a long day or like you don't have anything planned for that day. What like motivates you to like get up and I gotta get this running?
Yeah. So I've said this countless of times. Sometimes it's not motivation. Sometimes I don't have the motivation. And I've seen many people talk about this as well. I feel like motivation comes and goes. You're not always going to have it. Sometimes you're not going to want to wake up and you're not going to have the motivation to get up. My days are long. I get up at 4:30 in the morning so I can go to practice at 6. I leave my house at 5, get to practice. I pick somebody along the way and then I get to practice at 6. And then right now I've been doing cross training instead, but that's just how my usual day looks like. Then I have classes, and then usually after classes, I head straight to work. It's like an hour 15 drive, and I end my days probably like around 10, and then I get home after that, do homework, and I usually end up going to sleep around 12 every day. So my days are pretty long, and my sleep's pretty short, so it's kind of hard to always have the motivation every day. Some days I'll have it, some days I won't. So I can't really say that I have motivation every day to get up. It's more of the hunger. Like it's more of like being hungry for reaching these goals. And I feel like having that hunger is what allows me to be able to get up every day, if that makes sense. And I think it's a discipline thing too as well. I think just after doing it so much, it's kind of like not that I have to do it, but it's like I'm gonna do it. And it's like, just thinking about how I would feel if I didn't do it, I know I feel terrible. And so that's just the things that get me going in the morning.
Right. So with you being a sophomore in college, and I'm already having ran cross country and track and field, do you have what it takes to still compete at the highest level against D1 level? Or let me summarize it. Do you feel like you're getting better into the year and then years coming ahead that you can still bust out more PRs before you graduate?
Oh yeah, that's a really good question. So right now I'm like, last year was my freshman year, complete adjustment. So I feel like it went well. It was a bunch of changes, right? I mean, in high school you race the 800, 1600, 3200 in track, and then you race 5K cross. Cross country college, it changes. You do 8Ks. Sometimes there's 6Ks, 4Ks. We've done 8Ks, 5Ks, and 6Ks. In track, it's 1500, 5K, 10K. And so it's a bunch of different distances, and the workouts are different. They're harder. Our bodies are changing. Like they're starting to cap out on everything. And I would say it was a pretty huge adjustment freshman year, and then adding the hour commute to and back from school, work late night, and this summer I worked 2 jobs over the summer, and I feel like it just all adds up. It's just a bunch of changes, and I think my body never really got used to it. But I would say my freshman year it went well. I didn't really improve on my times during track. I kind of did, but I saw most of the improvements during workouts, but I just never was able to. I was never able to execute during the races. During cross country, I feel like that went well. I didn't PR in the 5K, but for 8, I was able to extend my PR pace to an 8K distance, and I feel like that was pretty. That's probably where I saw my most success. But I do see the progress overall in terms of training. And I probably just haven't had that breakthrough in races. But I think if I stay consistent with it and I trust the process, trust my coach, that I will be able to see faster times drop. And in terms of being able to compete, like with the big schools, like the D1 schools or like the faster NAIA schools, I think it will be a possibility. It's just a matter of whether I want to or not, right? Do I really want it that bad? I feel like that's what it comes down to. I don't think it'll be in the near future. I feel like it'll probably be only my senior year because running is kind of hard to get better at fast. Like it's a process, right? It's easy to get better at, but you have to put in the work and you have to be patient because it's not something that you get better with overnight. It's something that builds up over time, and I've seen that. So I think it's just a matter of patience, really. But I think there is a possibility for that. Maybe not be the top of the game, but yeah.
So I was going to tag along on your commute, you know, because you live all the way from Dallas, and Dallas to Fort Worth is quite a bit of a drive, you know, and you got to, especially we're in the last week or two of cross country season. So then after cross country season ends, you won't have to worry about getting up super early in the morning, and then when track season comes around, you can sleep in some. You don't have to worry about, you know, but you still got to get up early and drive because of the traffic on 30 or 20, whatever you take, you know, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
But the next question I was going to ask is, what goals do you have for this track season, whether it's indoor or outdoor, or it can be both?
So yeah, it kind of goes along with the previous question you asked. So recently, I had middle of this cross country season, I had to stop running because I developed a condition called plantar fasciitis, pretty much inflammation of the plantar fascia, and it's not really an injury per se, but it's something that you don't want to keep running on, especially if you have pretty bad flare-ups. And I was getting really bad flare-ups, hard to walk, pain even when I'm like off my feet. It was just bad pain, and I had to stop running. And so I wasn't running for like a month, and I felt like it ruined all my progress. Just because for me, I don't know if it's something genetic or something, but if I don't run a day, like I feel like I lose a lot of fitness. I know it's not the case, but like it's just so hard coming back from just like a day or two of rest, if that makes sense. And so I feel like that was a big setback. I barely began running, not consistently, because I got to slowly come back now. And so now that I haven't ran for like a month, and I was running the races, but I wasn't running for training. I was doing cross training, doing elliptical, arc trainer, bike, and I feel like the comeback has been pretty hard, but I feel like it was a pretty big setback. Now, that being said, I'm not going to take a rest after cross season, so I have more time to build up for track, but I don't think my goals are really in indoor season because I feel like that's so soon to like my setback time. So, but my goal for indoor would be like, let's see if I can match my PRs from last year, or maybe a little bit faster. But if I can match my PRs, then I'm having pretty good success on getting back because it's been a minute since I've ran. And so if I can match my PRs by the time indoor season comes or be a bit faster, I feel like I'm in a good spot. But I think most of my goals are going to be set for outdoor season since my build would be pretty much complete by then. And I would have already had a good amount of mileage in, a good amount of workouts, race-specific workouts. And so I really don't want to throw out any numbers because I really don't know where I would be then. I've never had this type of setback before. But I would want to run like a 4:10, 1500. In 5K, I would at least want to be in the low 16s, if not below 16 if possible. But I'm really not sure what type of runner I am. I don't know if I'm a 10K runner, 5K runner, 1500 runner. I've just never been able to find out. I feel like my PRs are equally the same. But I might be thrown into the 10K. If I were to run 10K, my goal would be just below 34 minutes.
So do you do weight training? And if you do, does it make you faster?
I do weight training. I'm trying to get more consistent with it. It's kind of hard to fit in weights within my schedule, but I do fit it in. Since I've been cross training and going to the gym to cross train, I've been getting weights in there. And I do think it gets me faster. But not just that, I think it also aids in not getting injured. I was kind of inconsistent with the weights before like I got injured. I did do weights at least twice a week, weekly, but I didn't have enough time to do my full weight routine. And I think that played a role in my plantar fascia, but also working 2 jobs over the summer, running 50-mile weeks, and doing weights. I think it all combined was just not good for my feet. But I think if you find a good balance with it and get to that point, I think it does aid in your speed and aid in you not getting injured and running form, etc. It plays a huge role.
So the final question I'm going to ask you today on this talk show, you might have to think about it a little bit, or you may know it on the top of your head, is do you have what it takes to compete after college? Like go pro? Is that what you have in mind? Like, let me get done with college running, see if I can bust some more PRs, records, and see if any Olympic, America, USA, or whatever country, Mexico, you want to run for? Or do you just want to just finish out school, get your degree and everything like that, and just run on the side?
So that's a pretty good question because I have thought about it. I'm thinking about it consistently. I'm gonna try to keep it short, but I think maybe not. My goals, I see what the pro runners do. They live to run. Your job has to be your job. Like, to be a pro, you literally have to eat, sleep, drink, and do everything running. Like, everything has to be towards running. And I'm not saying that's a bad life. That's pretty cool if you could have a job as running, but you have to be the best of the best. I know there's pros out there that were not the best of the best in high school and in college and are still pros, but it takes time to get there. And not that I don't think it's possible for me, but I don't see myself doing everything running after college, if that makes sense. Now, that being said, I do think I can make it to a pretty elite level if I continue running past college. I do plan on continuing running past college. I don't have it not in my plans. It's in my plans to continue running because I just love it. It's so good for me. I've written essays before on running. I've done poems on running, and I give my advice based on running, and I think it's pretty good advice. I mean, because like just running is just so good for you in general, and in every aspect of health. And I do plan on chasing the elite level. I probably won't be doing much track races after college. I want to focus more on road racing because your aerobic health doesn't peak until you're like 35, 36. And so I'd have that much years to get better at road racing and, just be up there with the big dogs, travel. Because marathons are so fun. Road races are fun. You can travel to all these places. I mean, road races are easier to get into internationally. So, like, you got the Berlin Marathon, Sydney Marathon, Tokyo Marathon. And I think it also help, just explore other cultures, travel, and it's just a lot. I mean, but to answer your question simply, yeah, I mean, I do have it in my eyes to go to the elite level, but maybe not under a pro contract. Just, on my own and maybe with a coach. But, yeah.
Well, this is the end of our talk show, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed our RJ's talk show today. My name is Roberto Jaimes.
And this is Jose Hernandez.
And stay tuned for our next talk show where we have a special guest to be announced. Hope to see y'all in a week. Y'all have a good one.